welcome back. It's been 3 weeks since my last upload, but that is because I finally got my block back from the machine shop. As you know, in the last video, we stripped this guy down, got my main studs in, and sent it off to the machine shop. Fast forward 3 weeks, and I finally have it back. Last night, I went ahead off camera and I got the crank set in and got all my main studs torqued up, so that's ready to go. And today's video, we're gonna be gapping piston rings. So when you're gapping these guys, most of the time they come with a chart here, and you can see high performance street NA. You do your bore size times 4.5 thou. So you come over here, 4030 is my bore, 4.5 thou. You get 18. I'm gonna round to 19 just for some ease of mind. I have max can be 20, so I'm right in tolerance there. Here this morning, I went on my 3D printer and 3D printed this ring squaring tool. This guy is just useful for when you put the rings in there and go to measure them. You can just tap this guy in the bore like that. It gets the ring squared up so that you can stick your feeler gauge in there and measure it, so that it's not in there like this. If you're measuring it like that, your gap will be off. One last thing, if you have foul to fit rings or you need to adjust your gap, this guy was 12 bucks on Amazon. It's just a oil ring grinder. You put it against those studs, it pinches it, and you can just take away a thou at a time or whatnot. Super helpful. It was only 12 bucks. It comes with mounting screws here and a spare wheel, because I've done 4 of them and it's already kind of going bad a little bit. It'll probably be a shorter video today just because, you know, gapping rings is quite tedious. There's not a whole lot to show. You know, I'm going to be bouncing between the grinder over there and test fitting them there. But in the next part, I'll be installing one of the pistons, getting my cam degreed up. Before I do all that though, I just want to show you guys how beautiful this block turned out. It amazes me that what I dropped off can turn out looking like this. When I dropped it off, it was covered in gunk. You know, the oil galley was fucking black. It turned out beautiful. Freeze plugs, it's all washed up. It was a line hone, board 30 over, torque plate honed. Got a new distributor drive bushing in there, all new cam bearings. It's beautiful. It's got some tacky assembly lube in there, but the crank spins over nice. Looks beautiful. But nonetheless, I will start getting all those piston rings gapped up. It's real fun. These guys are completely file to fit. If I went trying to put it in there now, the ends would touch. So the first step we're gonna do actually is come over here to my filer. And might have to go get my camera set up, but put this guy in there, turn the handle, and it's a lot of bouncing back and forth. Go grind it, measure it, grind it, measure it, and then once you have it okay, just make sure it's deburred. And then I have a bag over here. Got my tolerance 19 thou, and this is the first ring set. Here's the second ring set, and then the third oil swiper. So in total, 3 rings per cylinder, 8 cylinders, 24 rings to do. I've only done 4, so it's gonna take a while. So this ring I haven't done any grinding on yet. You can see right there, it says top. I normally start on the top and then I'll flip it every now and then. It's just how I like to do it. And then before I go and measure, I'll deburr it. I'll just do one right here. Please keep in mind, I'm not a professional. This is just the way I'm doing it with minimal tools. I am not an engine builder in any fucking way. But these guys were touching, they need to be 19 thou, so I'm gonna sit on here and grind on them for a minute. When you're doing this though, you want to make sure that you're pressing both sides of these together on the wheel so that it's grinding on both sides equally and not one or the other. And now, I'm sure there's better ways to do this, but to deburr it, I'm just gonna feel for burrs, and I'm gonna spin it away from the ring. Till I don't feel one. This is just so that when I put them in, it doesn't scratch the hell out of my fresh cylinders. That would be bad. Forgot to charge my little tripod thingy. This is gonna be hard to do with one hand. Basically, I'm gonna take it over here and I will clean it up, and then I've already put some assembly lube in there so it don't scratch. I'll put it in there, twist it, and then I'll take my little squaring tool there, press it in, take my feeler gauge, and measure the gap. Okay, I feel like a total goober right now because I have my phone on my head with a GoPro strap, but I think that you guys can see everything. I can do everything as normal. This is the ring I just filed on. I just deburred it. Hopefully you can see that. Just take a rag, wipe it off, and then I have some high zinc assembly lube here. I'll just kind of put some on my fingers. There's already some in the cylinder. Coat those ends, wipe it around. Kind of get it all over. Wipe my fingers off again. Okay, then I'll take this guy, make sure that the top there is facing me. Also, sorry, it's cold as hell out and this is loud, but other than that, I freeze. So yeah, make sure it's on top. I will pinch it, slide it in, and turn it. And then take my little tool here and oh, I put it too deep. Hold on. I gotta move it up a little bit. Okay, now I can take my tool around the head dowel and just make sure it's squared up against it. Cool. So now, if you can hopefully see in there, that gap right there in the ring, we can go over here to my feeler gauge. Now remember that this has to be 19 thou per our card. This is a 19 right here. Does it fit? No. So, but we're close. So we can take, let's try a 16. 16 thou does not fit. It tells us it's under 16, so it needs a little bit more grinding. Let's try, where to go? Try a 13. And 13 fits. So it's 13's a little tight. So it's 13 thou now. It needs to be 19. So that gap needs to come up. Quick math. Look, what is that? I don't know. I can't math. It needs to come up to 19. So we'll just take this guy right out of there. Didn't scratch. Sweet. Come right back over to this guy in front of another heater. Sorry, it might be loud. And we will just keep on grinding. I honestly don't know what the camera's looking at, so if some stuff is out of frame, I apologize. I can't really see my phone. This is where it gets a little tedious because you don't want to go over. Being under is fine until you get to your spec. But I would hate to sit here and grind on it a whole bunch and then I'm like 23 thou. So I'm just going back over it. Making any burr that I feel, I'm just gonna grind off really quick. All right, now come back over here, wipe it again, get all that debris off, re-oil it, go back over to the block, retest it. It's tedious and you have to do this. This is number 5 of 24. So Real fun process. I probably should have paid the shop to do it, but I didn't even think about it. Now it's too late. I already have all my stuff here. Fun times. Take all this. I'll just put this in my sweatshirt pocket for now. Oh yeah, look at my Crocs. Love these things, dude. They're insulated. They're sweet. 10 out of 10 shop shoes. Okay, so set there. Make sure top is facing at us. In, twist, pull it up. Deburr tool. You want to this? I made it like that. A is a handle and B so I could clear the head dowels. But just put it in there. Make sure it's flush against it. Pull it out. Set that there. Feeler gauge. This is still on 13. It's loose. So let's work our way back up to 19. There's 16, 18, 19. 19. Just bumped it out of the square. 19 is perfect, actually. Yeah, okay, sweet. So that one's done. Gotta move on to the other three. It's just the top one. You gotta do 8 more for the second, and then 8 more for the third ring. It's very, 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 very tedious. But I have bag labeled number 1. Just stick them in here. And then get to repeat the whole thing. There are 3 rings left for number 1 pack, so I will just grind through those. And really though, that's the gist of it. I still have a lot more to do, and it's so tedious, it's not even worth filming. So I'm gonna leave that video here, and as soon as I get all those gapped up and I get a rod and a piston inside of here and I can get my cam degreed up, I will post another video.